Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. In this video, we're gonna take a look at another bisect kind of a tutorial, but we're gonna do a little bit more. In the previous video, we know that with the bisect operations, you can kind of slice objects. In this one, we're gonna do the same, but we're gonna do like a multiple slicings. It was actually inspired by this question by Declick73. Slicing script based on bisects. Okay, he made this script using Python, and then he went through and then Codeman X help, and then this is the final result. But this is not like a full script. I kind of copy the one at the top and the one at the bottom, and then kind of combine it together, and it sort of work something like this. So if we have like this box, right? And then I run his script, and then I make the thickness 0.5 and slices 20. I run the script, and then we get this kind of result. It doesn't have 20 slices at the moment because of the dimension. It's not 20. I think anyhow, the script does this slicing, and the result looks something like this. So it's using the bisect operation, and yeah, it does its job. But I was thinking maybe we can do it more more procedural, and then even though this script is really useful, it's kind of a lot of useful gems at the Blender artist, a lot of useful stuff, but oftentimes it's just like one question and disappear. I kind of want to turn this into one tool, like people can easily access. So I decided to do the same thing using Sverchok, and the result is something like this. Well, in my version, I actually made it so we can slice the objects kind of like a multiple slicing like this. So the final result ideally should be like if we have like an egg like this, and then we can easily slice the eggs, and we get every slice. That's the main idea. But I'll gonna start from scratch anyway. It's easier to show. So this is slice master 001 using Sverchok and Blender. So let's get started. Compositing and Sverchok. Let's grab this object, save it first. Objects in MK2. Get selection, so we have the cube, and we have the bisect operation. Probably instead of using cube, I better use something like cone, because it's easier to see which part of the slicing we have. So get selections, the cone, plug this guy in, plug that guy in, viewer, draw. This is gonna be the final result. And cut matrix. For the matrix in, we're gonna need how many cuts? Maybe try with a single cut first, just a vector, and then let's investigate this at the moment. So we have the original object, and this is the slice. Currently it's just slicing at the 0, 0, 0. Imagine if this grid is a plane that's cutting and slicing the object. Okay, and we can kind of move it up, move it down. Okay, that's pretty clear. We can clear inner, and we can clear outer. So that's also pretty clear, right? You can feel the cuts, which is really handy. That's basically the bisect operations that we know. But do you know that if you have like a multiple, we use like a range float here, and then try to multiple cut. Let's see what we get. the start and the stop actually matters. Let's say the start is like a minimum value, the stop is the maximum value. Perhaps I need to be careful with the number. Maybe the start can be higher, the stop can be lower. Count maybe 5. We're not getting anything yet, but I think okay, the start need to be like a smaller value, and then the stop is a higher value. Now this is a lot clearer now. So okay, the start is minimum value and the stop is the higher value. We can clear the outer, we can clear the inner, and we can fill the cut or maybe leave it on or leave it off. So it's up to you, but okay, so we can now have the result that's just like the script we used earlier, which is this one by Declick73. I'm gonna close Safari if it's slowing down. Okay, so we can adjust the start and the stop, and we can have a multiple cut. Okay, let's say we want to have like 10 cut. We can do that easily. The resulting cut, I can just bake it. So here is the result. I'm kind of laying out the result here. This is actually exactly what the script does. Sometimes with the slicing, you actually want it to be, you know, like if you slice here and slice here, you have this bit that you want. Sometimes you want it like that instead of something that's this. Something like this is actually quite interesting as well. I'm gonna lay it out using Sverchok actually, matrix in, and for this I'm gonna use line. So this is the original cone. I don't want to delete it. Delete the grease pencil. So this is the cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 here. 10. Okay. There you go. That's our slice. This is really cool. I guess we are getting somewhere. This is already that script that the guy made. It's actually okay with the script and the Python script. You definitely will learn something if you understand the script. You know what's going on, and then the procedure, and then you kind of learning. Okay, the script is kind of doing this loop, selecting the object, go to edit mode, run the bisect operation using functions, and then blah blah blah, and so on and so on. Scripting is as mysterious and as useful and as magical as it is. So I recommend you to have a look at the script anyway if you want to learn that scripting. Some people prefer to do it using scripting. Personally, I like to do it using nodes, although nodes is not for everything, and sometimes it's actually easier using scripting, and it's not so much easier. It's more like if you understand scripting really well, it's really flexible to do stuff. With nodes, can be look like more elegant, and I don't know. There's something about nodes that I like. Now, if we want to do like if you want to slice it more like let's say this is the monkey, and then you kind of want to slice it that way and then that way, and you want to get the middle part. How do we do that? Okay, we can do that as well actually, but maybe not in one go. Maybe we can do it in one go. I have to ask Sverchok developer, maybe they know, but I'm gonna do it my own way anyway. So instead of, so we know that we have like 10 different objects here. We don't want it. We just need a single. number like this one. Okay, first of all we're gonna make a cut from the top to bottom, top to the middle parts. Now we want to cut from the bottom to the middle part. How do we do that? We just use another node. I'm gonna save this first. Save. Gonna plug this guy. The result of the first cut should be the starting point for the next cut. It's actually it's that simple. We are not getting any result because the matrix in is failure at the moment. There you go. Now I have to be careful. Maybe I did it wrong. Okay, let's make this the minimum. Minimum, maximum. I think both of them needs to be clear outer or something, or both need to be clear inner. Anyhow, let's investigate this. So this is the minimum. This is the maximum. That's actually the minimum, and this is the maximum. One or the other. I need to set it up so it's like super clear. So first of all, we have that cut that we can actually make it inner. So from the top to the center part, and we have this top to the center. Maybe we do it clear outer. I think it's easier this way. So this one from the bottom to the middle part, and then this one should be the opposite. This one should be from the top to the middle. Okay, that's very clear. So minus 0.6 minus 0.24. The difference of this value will be the thickness of our cut. Okay, that's one step done. The next thing we can do is let's see if we make this minus 0.2. Okay, we have like 0.4 thickness, because for the cut we want to know the thickness. Okay, we gonna have another value here, and we're gonna have math. This is gonna be the offset value, I believe, and this is gonna be the thickness 0.4, for example. So we just this one minus 0.2. This one is smaller, so this guy goes there and this guy goes there. We should get a result. Okay, there you go. That's exactly what I'm planning to do. So this is the thickness. What I like about the Sverchok Bisect node is it's really stable. It's almost like a modifier indeed, and it doesn't crash if you didn't give it like a proper value. So you kind of play around with the value. Okay, that's gonna be the starting point for the dissect, and then second one and next, because we have like 0.2 thickness. So this guy is important. I will control J and make this, I'm gonna name it thickness. So we need to have some kind of setup where we can kind of bake this. I tried actually using multiple numbers plug in here, and it doesn't quite work as I wanted. So I cannot just use a float range and plug this to that guy expecting it to work. It might be possible, I don't know, I have to ask. But now I want to bake it this way, so using the just if I'm doing it manually, for example, this is the first, okay, the first slice, and then bake, and then the next slice, bake, next slice, bake. This probably can work, but you can see it's not very accurate because we are doing it by hand. So we need a way to do the slicing properly. I guess we can use time, because time is always something that's constant. The value is always like 0, 1, 2, 3, you know, and so on. So we can use this as our slicer, kind of like a, what do you call it, the constant, and you just need to plug this in and then use a multiplier. So the time need to be offset. At the moment it's like beyond our number. This is math. This is going to be our offset. Oh, cool. Okay, this is the offset. Control J, name it. Ideally, we don't need to do all this, and maybe calculate an object, measure the bounding box, and then do the slicings between the minimum and maximum bounding box. That's kind of the whole idea here. Anyway, we have the offset and we have the time. The time kind of, okay, the time goes too fast. Of course, the time needs to be the same as the thickness here. So we need to another math here and use a multiplier, and this should be 0.2. I think the thickness and the time should be the same number. In fact, I should make a single input and then plug this to there and plug this to there. So this is not the thickness. Node, remove frame, node, remove from frame, Alt P, Alt P. This guy is the thickness. And this guy is the offset for the time. So I can do it now, like first slice, second, third, until the last slice. Okay, let's try. This is our slicer, the time constant. This can be more automatic. I don't know if you have like 100 slices, if it's gonna become like a chore, but it's okay. You can always bake it using animation nodes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 slices. Vertical slices. 1, 2, you know. It's beautifully done. We can try the monkey. The monkey head is actually, we know that Suzanne the monkey has this eyeball. The slice doesn't give like a 100% nice slice, but you will see in a bit. Get selection. So we have the monkey being sliced, I believe. So I think we need to control the offset first. I'll zero out the cutter and then offset it until we have something. There you go. That's Suzanne's chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so we have our slicer. So this is nice. We can have a thinner slice. Oh, okay. The time is hitting 0. It should be at 1, and then we slide this offset to the minimum. Slowly. Okay, we get something. Now let's do our slicing. Multiple time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Cool. Done. I think I have multiple. Yeah. Okay. It is pretty good. Let me select this guy and then Control G. I'm gonna quickly switch to animation nodes and objects from group, and then use the loop through object transform output here, and with our objects we can use the index into the z-axis. Index. And use math. Oh, of course. Here we go. There we go. Luckily it's sorted properly, but you know, it's not the most. Yeah, that's definitely interesting, right? What I want to say is the part where the ears and the eyes kind of cutting doesn't have any surface. So that's a little bit of downside, but I guess we don't need to worry about that. It's unless we basically, if you want to do a proper cutting, you need to ensure that the surface doesn't have multiple surface. But yeah, Blender Bisect is pretty stable. I like it, just like the Boolean. It's pretty cool. Now we can kind of move the X and Y as well, if you like. Random number. Plug in this guy to that guy. Minimum, maximum, minimum, maximum. Yeah, I guess that's working as planned. So yeah, the thing with this guy, I guess, would be nice to be able to slice the objects in one go, like the whole thing's being sliced, but we are kind of doing it with this kind of iterative way. But if you ever want to do that, it's quite easy to do anyway. Let me cut this guy. Whoops, it's back to normal. That's okay. I should have cut the object something. Yeah, if I cut the objects, I can move this guy out of the way. Okay, let me summarize again. So we have our slicer, which is this guy. So the next time if you have like icosphere, for example, you can just grab it, get selection, and you can slice the icosphere this way. So from 1, bake 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry about this. I'll just gonna manually do it. Done. Okay, we have our icosphere being sliced. It's probably gonna be useful at some point. Maybe for architecture. I don't know. It's one way you can do it. If maybe there's another way, so we can make it more simpler. I mean, it's already pretty simple. If we can do it in one go, it will be really cool. I guess I have to ask Sverchok developer for that. Anyway, thanks again for watching this video. You can leave question, feedbacks, comments down below, and I guess I'll see you in the next